Good day. Today, our group will be presenting our legal framework review focusing on Republic Act 9165, the Chain of Custody Rule, and Republic Act 7438. Our objective is to demonstrate how these laws apply across each operational stage, identify points where strict legal compliance must be ensured, and highlight potential procedural gaps or violations that may arise in actual field operations. To make this clear and more systematic, we use annotated excerpts of the laws, relevant Supreme Court case digests, and flowchart overlays that map each operational step to corresponding legal requirements. We begin with operational process map composed of 5 stages: pre-operational or surveillance arrest, seizure and marking of evidence, custodial investigation, and turnover and documentation under the chain of custody rule. This flowchart serves as our backbone as we correlate each phase with specific legal provision.
In examining RA 9165, particularly sections 21, 5, and 11, we emphasize the critical requirements for immediate marking, inventory, and photographing of seized items in the presence of mandated witnesses such as the accused, media representatives, the OJ officials, and an elected barangay official. These requirements directly apply during the seizure and marking stage. Case law such as People v. Lim 2018 stresses that deviations from Section 21 procedures are allowed only when justified and when police demonstrate genuine or earnest efforts to secure witnesses. Failure to comply may result in evidence being considered unreliable or inadmissible, which directly affects stages of arrest, documentation, and prosecution. We then explain the chain of custody rule, which safeguards the identity and integrity of seized drugs through 4 essential links: seizure and marking, turnover to the investigating officer, delivery to the crime laboratory, and presentation in court. Annotated provisions from IRR or RA 9165 show the importance of proper labeling, sealing, and time-stamp documentation of every transfer. The case People v. Dahil 2017 demonstrates that the breakdown of even one link, such as the absence of proper documentation or unexplained gaps, can lead to acquittal because the integrity of evidence can no longer be assured. Our flowchart overlay shows how evidence should move step by step from the arresting officer to the investigator, to the forensic chemist, and finally to the court.
Moving to Republic Act 7438, we explained how this law ensures the rights of individuals under arrest or custodial investigation, including the right to be informed of the accusation, the right to remain silent, the right to counsel, and the right to visitation by family. So these rights apply primarily during the arrest stage and custodial investigation. The doctrine from People v. Galit establishes that any admission or confession obtained without the presence of counsel is inadmissible regardless of voluntariness. So in actual operations, this means that even if the suspect willingly speaks, if no lawyer was present during questioning, all resulting statements are void.
Based on the combined legal annotation and the operational flowchart, we identified several key risks: the absence of required witnesses during inventory under Section 21, incomplete documentation of the 4 links of chain of custody, violation of rights under RA 7438 during custodial investigation, and the delay of turnover of evidence to the PNP crime laboratory. These gaps can lead to suppression of evidence, invalidation of confessions, and ultimately the acquittal, even when the law enforcement acted with proper intent. To address this risk, we recommend the use of standardized marking kits, mandatory witness checklists for each operation, consistent use of body-worn cameras during arrest and inventory, enhanced training on documentation for evidence custodians, and establishing digital logbooks to track each transfer in the chain of custody.
In closing, our review demonstrates how Republic Act 9165, the Chain Custody Rule, and Republic Act 7438 collectively serve as the operational and legal compass for anti-drug enforcement. By integrating annotated law provisions, case digests, and procedural flowcharts, we were both able to illustrate both the strengths and the areas where lapses frequently occur. Our conclusions emphasizes that strict and consistent legal compliance is not merely a prosecutorial requirement. It is essential to fairness, transparency, and the preservation of public trust in law enforcement operation.